Ever wanted to learn more about the people behind the speedruns? Right here. It's this one. My Insane Pace.
Right here. It's this one. It is the My Insane Pace podcast. First ever episode hype. Let's get it hype in here. I'm in this room by myself, but I'm sitting hype myself. This is the podcast where you, whether you be a runner, whether you be a watcher like myself, I hope to help you learn more about the people behind the runs and learn more about them and their interesting stories. I hope to share that with you over however long this podcast goes. I'm hitting the starting split right now on August 16th, 2017. Here we go, guys. The My Insane Pace podcast has begun. So first, I want to say, though, huge thanks for listening. I know there's a lot of choices you have of things. There's a lot of Twitch streams you could be checking out. There's a lot of speedrunning stuff you could be doing that's not listening to this podcast, which is obviously it's in its infancy, the first episode ever. So I want to say thank you so much for listening and giving this podcast a shot. I hope you like what you hear here. That said, though, as you can see by the title which you clicked, this episode is entitled ALTInsider, which is me. This episode has no guests. It is just me, someone you probably have never heard of, someone you probably have never seen, talking about what this show is, the schedule, my history with gaming, my history with speedrunning. So if that doesn't sound like something you're into, hey, great, jackpot for you, because I already have 2 other episodes live right now on the website. The first is with someone that is famous for playing Duke Nukem at GDQs, playing Jak and Daxter, being a true hype machine for Golden's Super Mario World run, I believe is 2013. Don't quote me on that. He's also a huge Owen Wilson fan. His name is Bonesaw50. Bonesaw577, and he is episode number 1. That sounds like something you want to listen to. Go check that out. But that's not all. You get 2 for the price of 1. The second episode is also live. And this is the master of Mario himself. He most recently did some races in the GDQ. His name is, he has the world record in one of the most hyped games of all time, in the Mount Rushmore of games. His name is Darbian, and he is episode number 2. So trust me, I will not feel offended if you don't want to listen to me rant for 20 or 30 minutes about what this show is, what it's all about me. If you want to hear what the real show is going to be like, go over there, episode 1 or 2, myinsanepace.com. You can see those real big on the site, and go check them out and listen to get a real taste of what you think the show is going to be like, because this one's going to be a little bit different because it's the intro show, warming up everything, telling you what's going to be coming at you. I do want to say, if you do enjoy what you hear, if you don't enjoy what you hear, I would love to hear your reviews. iTunes, it cares about reviews a lot, almost too much. So, the first month of a podcast life is really huge, and it really defines how biggest growth this podcast have in the very beginning. So if you like any episodes, if you don't like any episodes, if you listen to Darbian's interview and says, that's awesome, listen to Bonesaw's interview, thought that was awesome, if you have a second, please leave me a review on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen. It would really help out a lot. I think I've set it up correctly. It should be ready when this show goes live. myinsanepace.com/review, and that should take you right to the rating page. If it doesn't, if you go to myinsanepace.com and scroll down, you'll see a big button that says leave a review. If you do that, if you take time to do that, I really appreciate it. Amazing amount. I can't thank you enough. That is really awesome. I know it's super annoying. You have to log in and log into your iTunes account and all that crap, but it really helps a show grow, and it'll be awesome if you could do that. I learned quickly when I was putting the show together, getting guests together when your show has 0 episodes is not as easy as I guess I'd never assume, but I learned how hard it really is. So that's why Darby and Bonesaw are in like the My Insane Pace Hall of Fame already, because they agreed to come on the show, and they are truly awesome. I'm in their debt forever. So with that out of the way, let's get to the show. I talked about my name, but I'll go through it again. My handle, I should say. I do respect handles. That's one thing I like about speedrunning is handles are respected. My handle is ALTInsider. My name is James. I won't say my name again. So if you heard it here, this is the only time you're going to hear it. More about me. I've been living in Japan for the last 9 years. I started in Japan as an English teacher, as most do. After 4 years or so of studying my ass off, I got my Japanese pretty good. Then I turned Japanese words into English words for money. I also do some editing on the side, and also have a website where I help people teach English in Japan. That is called ALTInsider.com, and also is a podcast there. It's called ALT Insider Podcast. That's really where I got my kind of, I put in my reps, you should say, with the podcast. I started that podcast in 14, the end. So I've been doing that for 3 years now. And I kind of learned the ropes through that podcast. Now it's an okay podcast. So I'm hoping I can do the same thing with this podcast. I'm not switching. I'm still going to do that podcast. But, for me, gaming is my main thing, my main hobby. So I really wanted to use the skills I've learned into a podcast that's more about my hobbies, basically breaking it down in simplest form. So you might say, well, why didn't you just speedrun? So good question. I've actually speedrun one game. That game is called Jaws. My best time is 6 something, which is horrible. I cannot get the mini game you have to get a perfect on. I cannot get a perfect on that. I never have, and I probably never will. But actually, in my life situation now, I just don't have the time that runs take. To get an awesome run, it takes time. It takes hours, and I just don't have that time. 2 babies, job, just like everyone else, right? But I just don't have the time. So I still wanted to be a part of the speedrunning community, though. So I thought, how can I do that? So this is my way to hopefully join the speedrun community or give something to speedrunning community. Darbian asked me, he said, you got to, in the nicest way possible, because Darbian's an awesome guy. He was like, so who are you? Are you in the community? Should I know who you are? And I was like, I'm not in the community. You should know who I am, but thanks for doing the show anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping that this can be my way to enter the community in some small way. I know it's not an instant thing. I know it takes a lot of time to build up a show. I'm ready for the grind. I'm ready to, do what it takes to make this show, be meaningful for people and hopefully be interesting every single week. So how did I get into speedrunning in the first place? That's a good question you ask. I'm asking myself these questions, but it was 2013 and there was a runner. His name is Mr. K. And Mr. K sat down on the couch with a tie on. I still remember the tie. I've watched the run a few times now, but he started playing SimCity. And the only reason I saw this, by the way, was on the Twitch front page, I believe. I don't know. I would never click I say that because I would never click the Games Done Quick Twitch channel. So it must have been there. And he was playing SimCity. I was like, oh man, I know SimCity. So I put on SimCity. He's just putting the blocks wherever they go. And if you never played SimCity, it's very plan out this, plan out that. He just putting blocks wherever he wants. And then he put the controller down and then started playing Maniac Mansion. Then he beat Maniac Mansion with glitches, then came back to SimCity and beat that. And then that was it for me. I was like, I've never seen something like that. I have no idea what happened, but I'm going to find out what happened, right now. So I kept watching the rest of the marathon, watching all the games. And it's kind of a switch, right? Once you get that taste, you learn about you're entering the matrix, right? You're entering the speedrunning matrix of there's a whole nother way to enjoy video games. And it's this crazy thing called speedrunning. And that was it for me. I mean, I never, again, like I said, though, I never started speedrunning. I just followed speedrunners and, on Twitch, watching runners, marathon, stuff like that. So for me, I have to thank Mr. K for getting me into speedrunning. So hopefully one day you could be on the show, because I want to say thanks to that in person. And that was an awesome run. hopefully someday you can reintroduce people to speedrunning through that awesome run that you did there. I definitely want to be on your couch if you'd allow me. This whole show is basically a ruse to get me on a speedrunning couch somehow, which is difficult since I live in Japan, but there you go. So what will this podcast be about? Good question. This podcast is obviously going to be about speedrunning. So, but what makes it different than the shows that are already out there? There's already some shows out there. There used to be more shows, but Sunday Sequence Break was awesome. The Final Split, awesome. Frame Savers, they're still going strong now. They're awesome. And so I don't want to just add to the noise, right? Add to the pile of stuff. So how's my show going to be different? So best way to answer that is, like I said, I come at things from a speedrun watcher's perspective. I think the interesting thing, besides the glitches and the cool skills, the most interesting thing is actually the people that are doing the things, right? Darbian, for example. Watching Darbian run Mario 100 times, whatever, a week is interesting because you can see his skills, you can see him try to achieve a goal. But I think you're really spending that time with him, right? With his personality, right? So that's what I want to share. And when you watch Bonesaw stream, it's that same thing. He's playing a totally different game, totally different personality. He brings a lot of different things to the table, but it's still interesting. And that's the interesting part, I think. That's the thing that makes it speedrunning interesting is actually the people. So that's what I want to do, is share as much about the people as I can. Not how to do, the glitch on level 4, but what got you into speedrunning? What makes you what makes you keep doing, the same level 1,000 times? What keeps you hungry to do that kind of stuff? That's what I want to get. That's what I want to share with the people, with you guys, as much as I can. As for format schedule, I will do this once a week for sure. I know how hard it is to build an audience, and if you don't do it consistently, there is no chance of that happening. So I will do this once a week. I hope to have a new episode on Thursday. You can set your watch to that. On Thursday, there will be a new episode every single week. Now, this week's special because it's the first week of the podcast, so there's 3 episodes. But after that, there will be 1 episode every week. The next interviews are already lined up. I don't want to reveal anything because, things fall through and stuff. You never know. But there are some big names coming down the pipe as well. I hope to keep that rolling. Let's make sure I said everything I wanted to say. I talked about me. Let's give a quick recap here. I talked about me, my name, ALTInsider. That is my handle I'm going with. I live in Japan now. Whatever. I got into speedrunning. I said that. The podcast is going to be about sharing the stories of the people. And the schedule, it's going to be once a week on Thursday. So that is it, guys. That is the first episode of the My Insane Pace podcast. One thing I want to say before we end up here, and you go listen hopefully to Darby or Bonesaw, I am so ready for feedback. Getting as much feedback as possible is something that makes things go from great to awesome, good to great. Even if you don't take all of it, hearing what people's opinion is really huge. So I will definitely want to do that. If you want to give me some feedback, I'm always all ears to hear it. I'm at Twitter at ALTInsiderFY, and my email is james@myinsanepace.com. I'm always ready. I really mean that. I also have a Discord set up now. The link will be on myinsanepace.com. Anytime you want to tell me something, hey, this sucked. Hey, that's awesome. Try to get this guest. Of course, try to get guests. I know the bigger the guest, the greater it is, but they're not always easy to get as you might think. So if you have a guest that you think is good and you have a way for me to contact them, that would be even better than just saying their name. So keep that in mind though. But I'm really ready to talk to you guys. I want to hear what you guys think of everything. I am circling the waters of the speedrunning community and I want to enter. This is my way to say, hey, I want to be a part. So let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, the Discord, my email. I'm ready here. I want to make this show as awesome as it can be. And that's what I need your help for. Thanks for listening. Huge. It was only 14 minutes. Not too bad. So thanks for listening. Remember, there are 2 other episodes out there available to listen to. If you're listening to this in the future, there's probably way more episodes. But right now, if you're listening to this in August of 2017, Bonesaw 577, Darbian are waiting for your ears right now. So go check those out. And again, if you enjoy things, please consider leaving me a review because it makes you awesome. So thanks for that. And again, this is ALTInsider, and that was the first edition of the My Insane Pace podcast. I will see you guys in a future episode. Thank you.